asks, whose child are you? To him now, no. Khipashi Nao. Hosanna to the Son of David. So son is a term of descendant in the context of the Old and New Testaments. So Jesus is called the Son of David, and to emphasize his royal lineage, and connection to the promised Messiah. Yeah, Christ is the promised Messiah, right? So, sons of David. When Christ came, he represented the Father very well, A lot of time you would hear Jesus saying, I came here to do the work of my Father. So I put this picture because in the village, it's kind of close to our house. It's our neighbor. Those ladies, they were hanging out, 3 of the ladies, and guess what? They are the deaconess of our church, and they were visiting some houses, and we came across them, and they said, we want to take a picture with you. Here, take a picture with us, right? But the point is, this is right in front of our next door neighbor. So from our house to come to that is about 3 to 4 minutes walk. So we go to church. The end point will be the church. We go to church by foot. So we took pictures, and then a lot of time during this 20 to 30 minutes walk to church, people would ask us in my village dialect, to him now, no, Khipashi Nao, whose child are you? And then usually because it's Pastor Louis' village, the kids will say, Ung rei sho him nao ne, ung rei sho shi nao ne, So that's how, and we train them to respond to them in the dialect, So we like taking our kids because it just throws them to another world. And then from the front of our neighbors, we would go down. That's Ray walking with his grandma. The red roof is our house where Pastor Louis grew up. And many times we would find around 4 p.m., my mother-in-law visits the neighbor's house, and we'll just go and chat. When people ask you, whose child are you, right? How do we answer to that? Who do we represent, right? Christ was a perfect representation of the Father, So sometimes you have children. Imagine you're an apple tree, and then sometimes you have a banana. You have expectation of your children, and they turn out to be a different fruit, right? And I think it happens in most cases. You have that expectation, and then our children goes and do something else entirely, right? But Christ represented his Father so well. The messianic expectation was he fulfilled the prophecy exactly like as it was mentioned, and that's the amazing thing about Christ. So here's a challenge question: if Jesus walked into your life today, how would you welcome him? Think about your personality. I thought about this. How would I welcome him? Right? I'm a garden person. I'd say, hey, Jesus, do you want some fava beans? Do you want some chard? I share with you, right? If you ask me, I will give you the stuff from my garden. I'll say, hey, Jesus, you want to eat? It's a little spicy, but I don't think Jesus would mind that my food is spicy. That's how Jesus is. He wouldn't judge me for my spicy food. So how would you welcome him? The children saying, Hosanna, save me, and express their heart's cry. And so treating somebody that comes into your life like Jesus would treat that person, I think that's a challenge for us today. Let's pick the one by the...
Come here, look at that. In one tree we have, this one is mature.
So we have 25 beans in one plant.
This one is wilted already. eight left.
So it's like 33 and more smaller ones. 33 from one single plant.
So from one plant, we're
Yeah.
getting this much.
Let's get from another plant. This one. Yeah, you get that. Let's try to get like 40 to 50 today. Even those are big, so you pick. I'll take around. Let me show you the garden. Because it goes with our. We try to keep the front yard kind of green and white, and then succulent, so it's water friendly. Those are water friendly plants. We just finished picking the oranges, and then we have the boxwood, a natural fence. So there's an avocado. The oranges smells good. So those are the white roses, and then it's April, so the lilies are blooming, and the roses are about to bloom, and they're white. And you can see the peach tree blooming behind. That's also growing from a seed. It's my favorite fruit in my whole yard. So we have the evergreen shoot ups to kind of work as a fence. And then we have a few fava here again. This is why I like fava, because it has the white flowers and work with the green and white theme going on. Then you have the agapanthus. This will bloom into gorgeous purple flower. And then I have a bamboo. And then those are aloe vera and succulent bed. More succulent. Lily, and those are white moms slowly shooting up, and then white daisies, another white rose, and then white geranium, and there's a fava bean with its flower, and that's the small lime tree. Let's go find Mr. Bluey. He's behind the apricot tree. You can see some of the white apricot flowers. This is a new tree, fairly new, and it hasn't produced much. So we have a small bed of fava beans here again. So in 5 minutes, we have picked about this much. 4 minutes to be precise. It's weeding a bit.
So we take all
There's
this or
succulent
lay.
and boxwood. If it's not big, it's okay.
These are all big.
And then
These are all very big.
that's the succulent. The lavender is slowly coming out. That's a small orange tree that I planted from seeds. Okay, there's tree lavender that should work along with the water-friendly plants in the front. There's a succulent and a line of boxwood. There's aloe, another variety of aloe, and those are agave. And in, we call it fake yongchak. See, it grows fruit like this. And it's flowering right now. So that's the front yard. We got, how many did you pick?
Oh, maybe around 40.
Around
This
40?
is our apricot.
Oh yeah, I've shown them the apricot tree. So we'll cook some, and then I think I'll freeze some. Slowly start freezing. And then as it produces more, we'll share more to people. We like
Especially
sharing.
the neighbor.
We like
behind you.
sharing our fava beans, right?
Yeah.
That's our neighbor here. Look at the orange tree. And they share their orange and persimmon, and we hang out once in a while with them. So this is one thing we can share to our neighbors. So we like sharing our fava beans.
Good job.